Hello, so today I'm about to run you through how I felt about The Running Man. Because welcome back to James Rambling Reviews for yet another review. Today I'm talking about the 2025 version of The Running Man, directed by Edgar Wright. So this movie came out a few weeks ago, but I just got around to watching the movie recently, yesterday evening at the cinema. And I will give you my thoughts on the movie, but I did the quick reaction towards the film. Link all of that down below. If you haven't seen that video, you just need to know that basically what happened is that I actually thought the movie was enjoyable. I thought it was an enjoyable movie. It was entertaining. I didn't think it was like one of the greatest films I've seen this year, but I did enjoy the film for what it was going for. So there was that. And just for a bit of context here is that I never really seen the reason to go and watch, the 1987 version of the movie. I might do it if I'm really, really, really stuck with watching movies towards the end of the year before I do my top movies of 2025 and stuff like that. So I might get around to that potentially, but there is that. So what you do need to know about this movie is that it is pretty much everything that you are expecting from a film like this. And what do I mean? So what the movie is all about is how there's this guy called Ben Edwards, and he's like, you know what? I'm actually a guy that doesn't want to do the Running Man competition, but I need to have a reason to support and secure my family. And that's pretty much what this entire movie's all about. And so there definitely is all of that. The movie's about 2 hours long. And so the first thing I'm going to say about this movie is that it's entertaining, as I said in my prior reaction towards the film last night, or whenever I did that video, just about almost 24 hours ago. And so I'll say that Glen Powell was probably the best part about the film, in my opinion, because I don't know, he just has this style to him where he just goes for it in all of these scenes, and he just plays himself up. He just goes for it, and he's really up for it, and he really wants to give the audience a good time. And that's what I like about an actor, is just go for it, go crazy while you're there, while you're on set. And that's absolutely what he does in this movie. There's scenes where he just runs really fast, like, yeah, really funny stuff, and then he's trying to do this thing with this guy, and it's silly, and it's just silly, and it keeps going, it keeps going, it keeps going, and you just feel entertained by him. Because the other parts of the movie, it is entertaining, but I'll be honest, there are certain scenes throughout the film where if he's not in the scene, you can start to see how it's not nearly as funny. Like, there are certain moments where it's funny, a few times it's like, oh, I didn't really laugh that time. And then you kind of go again, like, oh, I didn't really laugh that time. And then you just have, like, oh, I'm laughing again. I'm laughing again. So it's not consistently funny, in my opinion, but it's still an entertaining movie. I'll also say the action is decent in this movie, because there's a point in this movie where they use a like water gun and like take like a taser in a house and things. So I like all that creativity where the action really has style to it. It's not just like generic, oh, I'm gonna shoot this guy, pew pew pew. No, it's like this guy is in the building. There's like a water gun, and then there's electricity on the floor. Like, I like all of that stuff. Like that is where the movie shines its best at its best and stuff, and especially for Edgar Wright as well. He's done these action movies where there's like silly comedy while there's also action on top of it, and he's able to really combine it all into one go and really go for it. And honestly, that's what made this movie really enjoyable, is the action and Glen Powell. But the other, like I'll say Josh Brolin. If we're gonna talk about Josh Brolin in this movie, like, he is an entertaining sort of actor. But in this movie, you can just tell, oh yeah, he's not meant to be the most convincing villain ever, because he's always got a big smile on his face, and you're just like, yeah, we know you're not. We know you're not trying to be serious or convincing. You're just trying to like scam. Glenn Powell's character in this movie is like, oh, I'm gonna sell you on this idea, and you're gonna like it, aren't you? You're gonna like it. Like, you can tell that's the kind of character he's trying to play. So you see right through it, and I wasn't really blown away by that. I was like, oh yeah, whatever. But I will say, yeah, the movie was enjoyable. Not a laugh out comedy of the year, it wasn't like Naked Gun for me, where that was just really awesome and how funny that movie was. For an example, as a comedy this year. So it's nothing like that, but it was really entertaining for what it was going for. It wasn't perfect. Some of the jokes didn't really land as hard as I imagined them to be, because I just went and watched the movie, see how I felt about it, and that's how I felt about it. Like, so yeah, that's what I would say. The action is good. The comedy, it wasn't perfect. It wasn't always funny, but when it was funny, it was really funny. So there is all of that. I hope you enjoyed this review. There's no other way in which I could have really said how I felt, because that's just how I felt naturally. So I'll probably give this movie a 7 out of 10 because of Glen Powell. He steals the show here, but because of those jokes and things like that, they're not always insanely funny. Probably give it a 6 out of 10, but overall it's not a bad film. Like, if you were to go out, if you were to just to go past the time at the cinema, it's one worth watching. Or if you just catch it on the digital platform, on your Amazon Prime or your Netflix or your Hulu or whatever, your Disney Plus or whatever, like, you can just sit back and watch it at home as well. Like, it's not a movie I would say, oh, you need to watch this movie before 2025 ends. Like, no, it was just enjoyable for what it was going for. It did its job, and that's all it needed to do. So, yeah, stay tuned for more reviews like this one, and I will run out of this video in 3, 2, and 1.